Hello my friends, how are you? Sean Ferrick here for Trek Culture, and I'm going to talk to you about, well, speculation. And also not speculation, because there's some things we know and there's some things that we don't know. Spoilers, so if you haven't seen the end of Star Trek Picard Season 2, what are you doing with your life? Go and watch it now and then come back and watch this video. I am now assuming that you have done that, so I am Sean Ferrick for Trek Culture, and here are 5 actors who are not returning for Star Trek Picard Season 3. Number 5, Evagora. Unfortunately, we seem to have said goodbye to Elnor in Star Trek Picard. He obviously impressed everyone in Season 1 when he appeared in that episode where he's just being lovely and he's got absolute candor and he's on Vashti and he's got the sword and hey, choose to live. Now that I've offended my entire Australian audience, for which I am terribly sorry for that terrible accent, he warmed to us so quickly, and although I think arguably you could say that maybe some of the characterization was a little bit thin throughout Season 1, he did become an essential part of the show. So when he was quite unceremoniously killed off in the beginning of Season 2 of Picard, which was a little bit upsetting really, we kind of spent the whole season going, now we're going to get a reset button though, right? Right? We did get a reset button. Q brings him back to life in the finale, happy out, he's back in the future, he's in his academy uniform, cushy. But that seems to be it. Evan has announced on Instagram that he's not involved in the 3rd season of Star Trek Picard, which to me is a little bit of a head scratcher, because it seems like he is perfectly poised to return. What this suggests to me, coupled with the fact that we know that the Next Gen cast are coming back, is that it sounds as though we are not going to be anywhere near Starfleet Academy in this season. Now, I won't go too much into it, but for further detail on that, check out the interview that we did with Doug Drexler. It was specifically about the NX-01 refit, but it does cover some of what we might be able to expect in Season 3. You can catch that both on Trek Culture channel, and you can catch it via my podcast, The Clone Star Pod, as well, for the full version. Number 4, Santiago Carrera. This was a bummer, but this is less of a surprise. His story kind of was a bit thin, now if I'm honest, in Tractor. In a general sense, doesn't suggest that we've seen the last of him. However, that last conversation between Guinan and Picard, well, we pretty much find out exactly what happened at every step of his life and how his life ended. It's very unlikely we'll see him in Season 3. Santiago Carrera is actually also appearing in a show called The Flight Attendant for HBO, and that was filming at the same time that Picard Season 3 was filming at. So actually, I think this one is actually a bit of a done deal, that he will not be appearing in Picard Season 3. Now, it's a shame because while his story meandered a little bit, Cabrera's performance as Rios, and in fact the holograms as well, really was a bit of a high point of the show. It's a shame because it felt like he had settled into the character a lot more in Season 2 than he had in Season 1, but to be fair, that story did best when he was with Teresa and Ricardo in the past. I do think that the whole plot of him being arrested and being sent to the cages and then escaping, I think that was a little bit longer than it needed to be, because you could have had the same story beats done in a more concise way. So that, unfortunately to me, that did suggest that they didn't really have enough for Rios to do in Season 2. So his decision to stay in the past with Teresa and Ricardo, yeah, I think that makes sense. It was sad to see them go. It was lovely to hear, he did well for the rest of his life. His death was quite heroic and for altruistic reasons, but he will be missed. Santiago Carrera, I would love to see him back in some form or another in Star Trek going forward. But if this is it for now, my captain, you did brilliantly. Number 3, Allison Pill. I will make no secret of the fact that in Season 1 of Star Trek Picard, Jurati was probably my least favourite character. I would say that for several reasons. I do think the writing was not great around her character. Some characters like Narek or Narissa could have taken that spot, but we got more of poorly written Jurati, so that's why I really didn't like her in Season 1. So you're watching this going like, yeah, all right, Sean, kind of get over yourself there, will you? The reason I preamble with this is that I can say unequivocally Allison Pill was the star of season 2 for me. Hands down. She was the best thing in Star Trek Picard season 2. Her buddy cop routine, if you like, with Annie Wersching's Borg Queen, it just stole the show. She was the MVP. So, to hear that she's not returning for season 3, I am unhappy about this. Yes, I know where the story has deposited her at the end of season 2, and yes, it would make it slightly difficult to just have her walking around La Sirena again if we were to go near La Sirena again, or the Stargazer, or any of that. And it's frustrating because, you know, she got so good so quickly. However, what I will also say is that if this is the last time we see Jurati, you know what? It was a good ending. I like the position they've left her in. There has been lots of discussion about how they handled the Borg this season and where the future is going to take that race. But for me, I do like where it's ended up. That scene just of having Starfleet stand side by side with the Borg, I don't think we ever would have seen that coming with Best of Both Worlds or even First Contact. Allison Pill really delivered in season 2 of Star Trek Picard. She will be missed. I like the others, I do hope to see her in some form or another in the future. This one hurts a little bit, but thank you so much for everything, Allison Pill. You've been brilliant. Number 2, Wil Wheaton. Now, this was a bit kind of like, what? Moment of the finale, when Kore is standing there and who walks up behind her? But bloody Wesley Crusher walks up behind her. I don't think anyone saw this coming, because when the season 3 announcement for the TNG cast returning happened, everyone was like, where the hell is Wil Wheaton's name? You've got everyone else's coming back, where's Wesley? So, you know, and then at the time, he did say, Wil Wheaton did announce, no, I'm not back for season 3, I'm not back for season 3, and then whoosh, that's the sound of the rug being pulled from under all of our feet as he stepped up in the finale of Picard. It seems, however, according to Wheaton himself on a blog post that he wrote after the airing of the finale, this will be his only appearance in Star Trek Picard. Now that doesn't mean it will be his only appearance going forward. He announced, well, announced is maybe the wrong word. He certainly discussed the fact that he's very keen to see if perhaps Discovery or Lower Decks will pick up on the story of Wesley and Kore going off into the future or the past or side to side as supervisors, as travelers. Having Wesley return after 28 years without a speaking role because his scene was cut from Star Trek Nemesis, it was a cathartic moment, because as time has gone by, he's gone from the butt of every joke to becoming a beloved character who just wasn't massively appreciated at the time, which I think is nearly a symbol for almost every early season of Star Trek all the way since The Cage in 1966. You know, from the producer's point of view, it took us a while to see The Cage. Wesley is something of a mascot for Star Trek. I personally need him back. This was not enough for me. You have whet my appetite without satiating it. Wil Wheaton, delighted to see you back. He said himself he's delighted he gets to host the Ready Room every week. He is just so over the moon happy. So are we. We might not see you in Picard season 3, but it would be flippin' lovely to see you in the future anyway. Number 1, Issa Briones. This is another one that's like, okay, right, I'm a bit disappointed here, because she is probably the breakout star of Star Trek Picard. I mean, she is perfectly successful on Broadway anyway. So, I mean, this was kind of the big television break for her. It was really exciting to see just how well she did. I mean, she had a hard job. She had to play Daj and Soji and Kore. You know, that's not an easy call, you know, and especially over a relatively short amount of time. I really liked Kore in season 2. I struggled a little bit with Soji, I won't lie. So it was a bit all over the place sometimes. I liked where it ended, but yeah, I liked episode 1 of season 2 Soji, that confidence that she was able to put out into the world. But actually I liked Kore. She suffered a little bit from some, you know, kind of poor expository dialogue, but overall, she was really, really good. So to hear she's not coming back for Picard season 3, another Instagram announcement was a bit like, oh, for God's sake. What's happening then? Who is coming back? But likewise, now Brent Spiner is coming back. He is confirmed, and both Briones and Spiner have been more or less tied together for Maybe not in terms of scene, but certainly in terms of story since season 1. It would be nice if this was maybe a bait and switch. Who knows? Who knows? But as it stands, it is goodbye to Issa Briones in Star Trek. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the singing voice. That version of Blue Sky still makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. She will be missed, but like in the previous point with Wil Wheaton, this may not be the last time we see Kore. Maybe not in Star Trek Picard, but there's other shows out there that are happening as well. Bonus point for you here, Orla Brady. Now, this one is very much up in the air, and I'm including it because there's been no definite confirmation down on either side. Orla Brady, of course, appearing as guest star in season 1, updated to recurring star in season 2, taking on the dual role of Laris and Talon. Now, while Talon didn't make it to the end, Laris certainly did. Their relationship between Laris and Jean-Luc in episode 1 and then again in episode 10, albeit brief, was one of the things I didn't know I was looking for in this show. The rumors that are flying around have it that she is not appearing in season 3, which would make me very sad, and I would potentially have very strongly worded letters ready to go, or that she's only going to effectively cameo. Now that feels like a very disjointed way of joining seasons 2 and 3 together. Terry Matalas has confirmed that there will be roughly a year between season 2 and season 3 in terms of in-universe time passing, and so that means that yes, you could have her disappear as they did to Jabon, poor old Jamie McShane, or you could have that they develop a closer bond. Who knows? There's already people going like, we want to see what the relationship is with Beverly Crusher when she comes back. I think it would be a poor decision if season 3 is set after season 2 to not continue the relationship between Jean-Luc and Laris. If she's not returning for season 3, I will be very disappointed, and I think that would be a disservice to both her and the show. If she's only coming into cameo, then if she dies, we riot, and then if she is recurring, I will happily say all of this was nonsense and just ignore everything I just said. That's everything for this video, folks, because as it stands, we don't have confirmation on John Delancey, although he did suggest early on that he would be appearing in season 3. Just don't have confirmation on it yet. Of course, we know the TNG cast are back, and we do know that Jerry Ryan and Michelle Hurd are returning for season 3. So that's great news. We will bring you more updates as they drop. We will bring you the news. We will bring you whatever confirmations we have. In the meantime, make sure that you follow us over on Twitter at Trek Culture, and make sure you follow me at Sean Ferrick on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok as well. Look after yourselves, everyone. Live long and prosper. Hope you enjoyed the season. Hope you enjoyed our videos. To everyone out there, stay safe. Look after yourselves. Treat yourself with love. Treat others with love. To our friends in Ukraine, we're thinking of you. We've got you. Please stay strong. Love you all. Look after yourselves. Have a great day. Make it so.